because Russ was just talking about him. Purdue beats Penn State 95-78. Don't make Purdue mad, kids, because when you make Purdue mad, Zack Edey, just goes and destroys anybody in his way. And unfortunately for Mike Rhodes and his little Nittany Lions, they were the kitty cats that were in the way of the Boilermakers in this one because they went crazy on them. I think it was it was a tie game, and then Purdue went on like some 20-point run or something like that. It was just like, okay, this one's over because you're not coming back from Edey on this one, and Painter and all those guys. Shaps, I don't know if you have a lot of thoughts on this game, but what thoughts did you have on this one?
I have like no thoughts on this game. Edey's good. It's exactly what you expect. I mean, the Boilers at home against, a bottom tier Big Ten team, they're just too much for Penn State. They were good last year. Now that Shrewsbury's gone, though, Rhodes probably has his work cut out for him. They lost a lot of guys, obviously, from last year. They're still going to shoot a ton of threes, but if they're not making them, they don't really have much of a chance this year. So, I mean, they're going to be towards the bottom of the Big Ten, and they ran into an angry Purdue team, I guess, where they just were looking. It was a get right game for them, and Edey, a get right game for him. His scoring has been a little bit down, and this was a chance to prove, no, I'm probably still the front runner for the National Player of the Year.
Russ letting us know 27-2 run after Penn State led 10-8. Yeah. I remember watching that. Like at a certain point, I almost was like, fell asleep because I was like, okay, Purdue's just never going to stop scoring now. Oh, Russ, bottom tier that beat Ohio State. Yeah, well, Ohio State's kind of bottom tier right now. Just wait. At the end of January, we'll be on a six game losing streak. Kent, what were your thoughts about the Boilermakers on this one?
Yeah, not a lot to talk about. I did notice, because I watched this game all the way through. The one thing I noticed that I haven't noticed about, I know, right?
Congrats to you.
Serious waste of time. I'm sicko like that. But the one thing I noticed in this game is that I think that Purdue doesn't get enough credit for being a fast break team. They only had 21 fast break points in this game. I say only. That is kind of a lot for a college basketball game, I think. But it could have been a lot more if the starters played for any more minutes than they played in this game. So that's my one takeaway from this game. I think that that's something that they can go back and watch film on and say, hey, we can do this against other teams, not just Penn State.
Yeah, 21 fast break points is in the 96th percentile on CBB analytics. So very good.
That is very good.
And they averaged the last 5 games, they averaged 7. So yeah, that's a huge improvement.
Look at me. I find those little intricacies, man.
There you go.
I find them.
You're just Mr. Stat Demon over here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it got to basically looking like, a team of dads was playing against the kids, and it was like they kind of let them be in it for a little bit, and then finally the dads was like, okay, yeah, we're going to take this one over and just take care of the little kids in this one. I know that's probably insanely mean to talk about with a Penn State team because they did beat Ohio State and stuff like that, but I think this Penn State team, like we talked about before, they're just going to kind of keep figuring things out, and unfortunately against a team like Purdue, if you try to figure things out against them, Purdue's just gonna manhandle and take care of you like nobody's business. I think Penn State has some nice pieces. I think they have certain guys who do things really well. I really like Wahab down low, getting rebounds, doing a good job down there. I think he gave Edey a good amount to handle, which was more than some other teams have given him to handle. And I think that Kanye Clary, very good offensive piece. Ace Baldwin, really good defensive piece, and he does a good job on offense too. But at the end of the day, I mean, you had a team in Penn State who does some things well. They have certain things that their players do really well. And then you had Purdue where it's like all of their players do everything really well. And it just kind of took over in this one. So
yeah, our guy O'Boyle was just not a tough matchup for our boy.
Yeah. Russ was saying, do non-Purdue fans think Heidi should start over Lawyer at this point? I talked about that in the last one, where we talked about Purdue and their loss. I didn't really like the switch to Heidi. I would have rather seen them run with Lawyer. But in this game, I didn't hate it. I felt like Heidi was doing a good job. I felt like he was giving them a little bit of what Lawyer doesn't give them when he's not super strong. But I just think Lawyer's ceiling is so much higher than Heidi's that, I mean, in this game, it doesn't really matter because they were just outplaying them so much. But in my opinion, I think you go with Lawyer over Heidi because the ceiling is higher. Do you think so too, Shaps, or what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't think there's reason to change anything up yet, but I mean, the one weakness really of Purdue is that their backcourt is so small. And, and Illinois tried to take advantage of that, and other teams will as well. Luckily, there's not that many, big guards in the Big Ten. Most backcourts are pretty small. So, Heidi did, I think, play more against Illinois too, to try to combat some of that size. That would be really the only reason to do it. But I think they also enjoy bringing that guy off the bench. And you don't want to hurt Lawyer's confidence.
Yeah, I remember that statement from the Big Ten media, not Big Ten, was it Big Ten Media Days or Big Ten Tournament last year, where Painter talked about Lawyer's confidence. So, Kent, you have any thoughts on Lawyer versus Heidi?
No.
Yeah. At the end of the day,
I think we got that covered. Yeah.
Yeah. At the end of the day, both good players. So
yes, absolutely.
Thanks for listening to the Big Ten Huddle. Please do like and subscribe. We appreciate that. If this was your first time listening, we are the Big Ten Huddle. We cover all things Big Ten football and basketball. We have a long episode every Sunday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night, all at 9 o'clock. So come in, check us out, get in the chat, let us know what you're thinking. We would love to have you join us and learn more about the Big Ten.